for nothing. Mate, hosting a level 4, that's that is fucking cool as hell. Like, I would love to learn a little bit more of the logistical side, and then also watching it pan out within the four walls of the gym, right? That is one cool experience.
It was very cool, man. Yeah, we were super grateful and lucky to get picked as one of the first host locations for it. So it was badass, man.
Incredible. Whereabouts is the gym?
So I'm in Georgetown, Texas. We're about 30 miles north of Austin, Texas.
Oh, mhm.
Um,
Wow. So what? Talk to me. What was it like?
Man, it was interesting. So, are you familiar with the level four?
Yeah.
Like how that? Okay, so it's a 2 day 2 days, right? So, there's two candidates each day. Each candidate gets one class in the AM, and then a couple hours later they get another class, and then the second candidate has the same thing. So they have two classes later on in the day. They send in a couple people from CrossFit HQ, the level four evaluators, and it's an interesting thing, man, because you have these strangers coming in, right, that are flying in from all over, and they don't know my members, and they've never been here before. They don't know how the gym works. They don't know how to use the clock or the music. So, as the gym owner, I'm basically here just to like make sure that they like help get them prepared for that.
Mm.
Show them like where the equipment is, like if they need to like, hey, where's your bands at, or where's your extra like whatever. Like I show them all that stuff, and then man, from there, I just my job was basically just sit back and watch. But these level three coaches, man, they got to coach my members through a class, and it was interesting to watch, kind of see like the different styles of coaching and like all the different strategies and how they did stuff. It was definitely interesting, man.
Yeah, man. I always find it's a great privilege just to watch people pursue excellence in whatever their craft is. It could be bloody frying chicken, cutting grass, being in corporate scene, or doing our thing, which is adult PE, right? And people trying to really hone in on their craft, and they're messing around with it, they're playing, they're figuring it out in real time on the floor, and they've done the hard yards years previous,
Yep.
right? And it's one hell of a thing to witness. These folk walk in trying to help some strangers, you know, and I hate to use a buzzword, but I'm going to do it anyway. Pursue virtuosity, right? Um, we got to CrossFit wankers got to use that buzzword somewhere in the
Totally.
conversation, right?
Yeah, you
But
had to. I didn't
but
expect it in the first 2 minutes though. That was impressive.
what can I say? Maybe I'm getting paid under the table. I'd fucking hope so. But it's cool though, right? And to see it in your gym, that's so cool. That must be such a cool experience.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. And the cooler part about it, to me at least, is we just opened up a little over a year ago, so we're still brand
Wow.
new, man. So we just right time, right place. I happen to know some people on the HQ side that was just convenience as far as where we're located in relation to the airport, and then just like the size gym we had, and we fit the mold that they were looking for. So we just kind of we lucked out, man. But it was super cool.
Beautiful. Something I really want to jump into, right, is professionalizing coaching. Um,
Absolutely.
and who better to talk about than somebody who wrote an article for the professional coach, right? And it's how would you say we professionalize this, you know, sneaker wearing, tracksuit wearing, potty mouth profession that we like to say, hey, this is kind of like a big deal. And people outside of the industry say, you get to swear at work and you walk on in wearing trainers, like, and with your hat backwards. Like, well, this doesn't make much sense. You're like, yeah, well, it's a cool way to pay the bills. So
Yeah, it is.
how would you say we professionalize it? Where would you say that we need to go as a collective of coaches worldwide?
I think things like the level four, man, that just got back online, are a great step in the right direction that we need. There needs to be a system in place to kind of separate those that do want to make it a professional career and do want to pursue virtuosity. Just to piggyback on that, um, there's got to be a some sort of credential or some sort of like separator, in my opinion. Um, I think the common conception from people outside of the space, or maybe even people in the space, is that all right, so what's it take to get a CrossFit level 1 certificate? Like you just go sign up for a certificate, like a 2-weekend course, and that's it. Well, like, yeah, that's the bare minimum. That's kind of like I refer to that as like the learner's permit of a driver's license. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can drive if you have a adult with you in the car, and you can't go more than 20 miles outside of your radius or whatever. Like, you're not ready to. That's like, hey, here's the stuff. Like, now go take with it and then go learn. But I think the level 4 is a great step in the right direction. Just the guys that do want, like yourself and others that want to make this a professional career, make it a full-time career. There's got to be something that proves to the rest of the field that, like, hey, I worked to get where I'm at, and I earned this credential, and I really have mastered my craft. And I think that's a great step. And I'm glad to see it back online and what they're doing.
Yeah, me too, man. I just had a good call with a very good friend of mine and a really big mentor in my life, never mind just in the coaching scene, right? Carl back home. Big Steaders, shout out. And it's, we were having a conversation of this is elevating the industry, right? We're pulling everything up, and we need to take accountability on ourselves, right? As individuals, as individual coaches of people that want to pay bills doing this thing in fitness, right? Whether it's Les Mills, City Fitness, Globo Gym, CrossFit, powerlifting, it doesn't matter. We're all in the same fight, right? We're like, how do we professionalize it? How do we upskill our standards, bring it all up? And I think having that little, paradise to chase for, that level 4, some people go down the university route, which is fantastic. Some people go down the diploma route, again, great, different credentials out there. And I think now seeing HQ come out and be like, okay, now there's another little shiny object. You've done your level 3, you know the knowledge, great, fantastic. You've done the prerequisite hours, you clearly know your craft. Can you show us? Can you implement it? Are you good at doing this thing?
Right.
And I think that's a really great example of, we've done the theory, we've done the textbooks, you've done the hours. Now go fucking prove it.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I think that in all honesty, I think there should be more things like that in all the other fields that you added. I'm not as familiar with like the other avenues of fitness and how they credentialize each other, but you nailed it, man. Like the book knowledge and knowing the things and having the knowledge up here is one thing, and being able to apply it and actually offer that value to clients and make a change in their life and make for the better and make them move better and make them like actually provide results for them and consistently upon like different, like diverse populations. I think that's a totally separate skill set that's almost like a step above, like having the knowledge is one thing. I know a lot of people, and I'm sure you do as well, that are very, very knowledgeable on a subject, just like exercise physiology or strength and conditioning, whatever it is, but being able to actually apply that and see the results is not quite as many people have that. And I think that may be why there's kind of that like void or that gap as far as like professionalizing the industry, because those are few and far between from my experience. I'm lucky enough to be able to get to be around a lot of them all the time for the job that I do. So it's motivating to be around those guys and see like, hey man, there are some people out here, like there's a lot of us actually that make a full-time career out of this, and like they're fucking kicking ass and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're making changes, and like they're giving us all a good reputation and a good, like, I guess just representing us, I guess. But at the same time, how many of those exist and how many other people exist that just have that, like that bare minimum, and they just kind of like check the box when they get there and they're just a DJ, you know what I mean? Or they're just on the, like, that's the hard part, is like that there's so many of those that exist, it's like how do we fix that? That's the issue, in my opinion.
That's a great question. And it's funny that you bring that up, man, because it's something that I ask myself a lot. And I've been asking myself a lot more often recently of like, how do you incentivize, this pursuit of getting better at your job? Because if we try and relate it to a traditional model, quote unquote, of say, let's pull corporate, right? There's a ladder and you're going to climb it. And usually that means you get a fancier title, which is kind of cool, and it always strokes the ego. But you also get some dollars at the end of the day, at the end of the month, week, or whatever. So the people have got an incentive to chase. And in our scene, yeah, maybe we can charge more for a PT. Maybe we could talk to the gym owner and be like, well, I got my L2 now, my L3, 4, whatever. I did this
Yep.
diploma. Maybe my hourly rate starts going up, but it's not crazy amounts. You're not getting a bonus at the end of the year, which is 10,
Yep.
15, 20 G's. It's like,
Yeah.
how do we incentivize this? And personally, I always come back to the thing of the responsibility is on everybody. We all have the responsibility. It's not just the responsibility of HQ and government and
Right.
councils and your parents, right? It's no, bitch, it's you. Like you fucking have those two hands, and guess what? You dictate where to go.
Yep.
And that also means then it's on me. If it's on you, that means it's on me just as much. And we're
Mhm.
all in this together. And I think it's the synergy between all those people. It's why I love reaching out to fellow coaches, man. It's such a privilege and an honor and a pleasure of mine of speaking to people around the world who are doing the same shit, maybe in different ways. Maybe we have different accents, we're saying in different languages, but we're all trying to help one another at the end of the day. Someone comes in, we got 60 minutes.
Yep.
We might only see them 3 times a week. We might see them six times a week. And we're all just trying to spread this. Hey, we're trying to get better at life, full stop. And we just use the medium of fitness to do that. And I think it all comes down to ourselves, but that is the problem. How do you then instill that into other people of like, you can't teach it, give a shit at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
how do you teach it? Maybe you can't.
I agree, man. I think you nailed it. I mean, shit, this industry and what we do, man, like nobody got into it, or that I know of at least, got into this was they're like, I want to make a quick buck and get rich fast. You know what I mean? Like that's not if that's your move, then like, hey man, this might not be for you. Like maybe coaching or running a gym, like yeah, you could probably run that corporate ladder or do something else and you make a lot more money. But I the most successful trainers and coaches I've been around, I think there's one thing in common, and that's that they care about helping other people. And the
Mm,
reward for the ones that I know that are the best ones in the industry isn't necessarily to a bigger paycheck or like a fancier car or whatever. It's like their reward is helping more people and being able to
mm,
see that the results that they provide are actually impactful. And I don't know that you can teach that.
yeah.
It's a good question. Yeah, I really don't know that like if it was about the bonus at the end of the year, getting a new credential, like I've had people ask me that, man. Like when I took my level 3, I'm signed up for my level 4 next month, and people have asked me like,
Amazing.
well, yeah, man, I'm super nervous. But they're like, what's the like for what? Like, what does it give you? Like members in my gym have asked that, like when we had the level 4 over the last week, they're like, so what happens if they pass? And I'm like, they're fucking badasses. What do you mean? Like they're like that's like the cream of the crop, man. They're like the black belt. They're like Jedi Knights. And they're like, well, yeah, but do they get paid more or something? I'm like, I don't know. Like most of these guys own their own gym, probably not, but
Mm,
they can fucking say they're a level 4. You know what I mean? Like that's like rewarding to them, and then they can kind of like rest their hat on that and know that what they're doing and all the stuff they've been doing for the last few years, like, hey, they actually like there's substance behind it. It's a tough question to answer when my members and like people who don't have the same mindset as like you and myself and other trainers, like it's hard
mm,
to describe. Like, well, what do you mean? Why would you spend all that money and fly all this here to like just to come and like maybe pass and like see if you do? If there's nothing, like no reward, I'm like, man, good question. I guess that's valid. Like,
mm.
I guess the reward's a little bit different for some of us.
Yeah, it's a fucking valid question,
Yeah.
and the answer is a great question, but
Yeah. Right. I
probably
like
stumped me on
other
that one.
yeah other
No,
coaches, man. Like other coaches that are good friends of mine. I got a few buddies that are level 1s, level 2s, level 3s that are like
why?
have asked me like, what's the point of taking my level 3? Like my level 2 is about to expire. Why wouldn't I just take that again? I'm like, I guess, like, but for what? Like you don't want to like. I guess the type of person that I want, the type of coach that I want to be, and the type of coach that I respect and look at is like the ones that are like really making changes in people's lives are not the type of person to be like, well, why would I do that? It's like a
Mm,
no brainer. Like if I can go better myself and I can go show that I've got this skill set to be able to better serve my clients and better serve more people, or shit, you fail and then you get feedback and you're like, hey, this is what I need to work on. You know what I mean? And then that's even more reason to do it, because you figure out like what are my deficiencies, what are my faults, where am I lacking, how do I get better? I think that's even more reason to do it. And if that doesn't resonate with you as a coach, then I think you may need to kind of take a step back and look in the mirror and say like, what am I doing this for? You know, my opinion, not it's a little brash, but
No, dude, I'm fucking right there with you, mate. Like I say things way too straight, way too harsh, and but I say I respect you because I give you the truth, you
right,
know. And it's funny because those coaches, our job is to not accept complacency from our athletes, right?
exactly.
We're trying to navigate and facilitate the journey of them progressing. Inside the gym, outside the gym, as people, as athletes, whatever, doesn't matter. Progress. We're chasing something. Sometimes we don't know what it is. Sometimes it's just this shiny thing in the fucking distance that we're like,
Yeah,
oh, we're kind of going for that thing over there. You're like, sweet, let's keep walking towards it,
let's
right?
keep going. Yeah,
And yet, because we've got that 5-letter word that says coach on the back of our jersey, we're okay with just staying the same, right? And you're like, okay, well, if we're trying to facilitate progress for these people and we're the same, how are we supposed to do that?
that's a great point, man. I've never heard it articulated like that, but that makes a ton of sense. Yeah,
I mean, I understand a complacent mindset. I can understand a mental pathway as somebody went down to just be like, this is comfortable. I want to try and stay here. However, I do not empathize with it. Like that freaks me the fuck out, like staying the same. Like it really fucking freaks me out. And I think if you got in it for the purity of helping people and you just break this thing down, like us human beings like to overcomplicate everything, right? Like, oh, let's
yeah,
increase the complexity of things. It's like, guys, it's taking a fucking hard object from the floor and it's going to put it above head. It's not that hard, you know. It's
yeah,
adult frigging PE at the end of the day. You
yeah.
know, let's not take ourselves that seriously, you know. But I think we overcomplicate it. And if we really do break it down, you're just looking for progress. Cool. So if I give them what I have right now, they're going to reach a plateau from what I can give them. If I don't continue learning, you know, and their sole pursuit is to keep progressing, they're going to have to leave gyms to do that. Or they're now going to be in a sterile, complacent, comfortable
They're in the same
mindset.
spot that you are. Yep.
They're in the same spot, exactly. And like, you got to lead from the front, right? They like to see the times on the board, not so they can beat, well, sometimes they want to beat you, you know, not
Yeah.
because they're like, oh my God, look at the weight that they lifted, but mainly because, oh shit, Con's in the fight with us.
Right.
Like he did this workout and it probably sucked for him as well as it sucked for me, you know?
Totally.
And we got to do that. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep growing somehow.
Yeah, man. I think I'm with you 100%. And specifically within the last year and a half, 2 years or so, I think I'm biased, obviously, man. I'm in the CrossFit space, and I that's where I'm at. So I can't really speak on other um, coaching, other parts of the industries with coaching and training. But CrossFit specifically, man, like the team that puts together the professional coach article, like that's something that's been in the works for a while, and I think that whole team of those guys has kind of been having the same mindset as you and I, kind of questioning like, well, how do we make this like a thing? Because there's lots of gyms out, like lots of gyms out there, and lots of coaches out there that make a great, like, they're absolutely professionals. Like they do what they do, and they provide for provide for their family, doing like coaching. You know what I mean? Um, and being able to like kind of like put that in the spotlight and show others that it can be done, and like, hey, this is how you do it, and like this is, we're gonna shout out this guy, or like maybe you try this if you want this to be like your career. Like, I think that and specifically that what they've done the past couple of years with that and starting to provide those articles is showing that there's a little bit more of a push for that. So you're not the only one thinking that. I'm not the only one either.
Yeah. And I do like the approach of it's there if you want it, you know, and I do rate the affiliate model of you kind of got freedom to run your business the way you want,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I think giving people the most amount of freedom in a lot of things is usually the right way to go. Like, I think human beings have a lot of beautiful streaks within them and it gives space for creativity, right? And I might make a gym, you might make a gym. We're doing the same stuff, and then you look inside of it, and you're like, we went completely different with an
Yep.
aesthetic and the way it runs and the logistics and the operations, and you're like, wow, that means I can then learn from you and vice versa, and we can somehow mold this thing into our own little thing, but we're still under the umbrella of health and fitness. You know, I say it a lot, but I really do think gyms are not in a competition with each other. You know, if you put a number on paper of the number of gyms in the world, and I'm talking every single gym, it doesn't matter what type, and then you put on number next to them the maximum amount of people they can have in, max out those numbers, and you add them all together, I guarantee it's not 8 billion.
Yep.
So we're not in competition.
Right.
Like there's enough people out there that need fucking helping. So why would I worry about bloody Jim Bob down the street who gained another 5 members because he ran a bloody free weekend or something? You're like, great. I really hope he does well. I want to stay in business. I want him to feed his family from it, and I want him to help some folk. And he might do it one way and I might do it another, and that's fantastic. And if they don't like my way, they can go over there, and if they don't like his way, they can come over here, and we can then learn from each other, right? And it be a collective of coaches rather than a competition of coaches.
I agree, man. I'm with you 100% on there. I've always been of that belief, specifically within like affiliates that are local to each other, and it's all too common, man, that like gyms that are across town from each other, like within a X mile radius or whatever, that kind of have like a little bit of bad blood, or they're competing, or they feel like they are. But like, you nailed it, man. Like if we're in this for the reasons that we say we are, like we're trying to provide people with like a route to get healthier and lead healthier lives and improve their fitness and all these things and increase their longevity and live longer lives, be more fulfilled. Like, what the fuck are we fighting over? You know what I mean? There's there's thousands, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of people out there, and there's, like you said, there's not nearly as much as of us. So you're right, man.
100%. It's not a bloody territorial war, you know.
Yeah.
It's not fucking gang warfare. It's bloody fitness at the end of the day. We use kettlebells, barbells, some burpees, and rowing, for Christ's sake. It's got.
Exactly.
We're not walking down the bloody street with an M4. Like this isn't
Yeah,
bloody Baghdad. Let's calm it down, you know.
exactly. It's
Um,
exercise, man. I have to remind myself that pretty frequently. Like my competitive athletes, especially when they start getting in that, seeing that little look in their eyes. I'm like, hey, man, you're exercising, bro. Like we get to do this. This is a privilege, bro. Like this is good. Like I get it. You're in the thick of it right now, but like at the end of the day, like we get to do this, and it's a privilege, and we should
a
treat it
hundred,
as such.
100%, man. Like the other week, I had a workout, and it was a bit of a clusterfuck where we had to kind of switch halfway. There's a lot of equipment out on the floor, probably not enough space.
Yeah,
No problem. Briefed it about no word of a lie, about 8 times just to make sure everybody's like, hey, okay, we all good? Yeah, cool. Any more questions? No. Any questions? Are you
got
sure?
it.
Guys, last time. Any fucking questions? No? Okay, sweet. And then during the workout, you get all the questions. You're like, holy shit, this is not the time to talk to me, man.
How many
Like,
burpees? Like we're doing fucking snatches and jump rope. What do you mean? Man? Yeah, every
so
time. Man.
you see that thing on the board? Yeah. You see the number next to it? Yeah. That's the number.
That's the one right
Oh,
there.
okay. Right.
Yeah,
And at the end, I was like, guys, okay, don't worry about it. There's a little bit of a communication breakdown. I take ownership on that. I'm the coach that's on me, right? But I'm like, at the end of the day, guys, is your heart rate up? Yeah. Are you sweating? Yeah. Did it suck? Yeah. Great. It does. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You came
yeah.
in, you punched
Didn't
that
go as long
ticket.
as I planned, but hey, man, it went. You know.
It's fine, guys. Did anybody die? No. Did anybody get injured? No. We're good.
Yeah.
Fucking, we're sweet. See you tomorrow.
You should take that approach at the level 4, man. Go take it and use that at the end of your class when they give you your feedback. Like, well, I mean, no one died. You know. Like, you're right, dude. It's a passing level 4 right there.
Yeah, yeah. I got a rule. The number of injuries you come out with has to be the same amount that you walk out with. You can't add to that bad boy.
That's a good rule, man. That's a good
It
rule.
can go down, fine. I mean, that would be out of coincidence. I'm not going to cure anything. I'm no wizard,
Yeah.
right? But it cannot go up. I've had like, I think 2 injuries in 12 years, and one was bloody playing netball as a warm up, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking,
It's always dumb shit like that. Like somebody drops a plate on their foot, like
uh,
loading the barbell, or they lean over to like throw something away in the trash can. They pull a muscle in their back at the gym. They're like, oh, I got hurt at the gym. Like, oh, fucking CrossFit. Like, okay, man,
so dude,
I'm with you.
you put a dumbbell behind you, behind your barbell, and you trip up, and you're like, no, that's on you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to take accountability for that one, but that's
Yeah,
also on you.
man, can't do it.
So, what is the biggest thing that coaching has taught you?
Oh man, it's taught me a lot about people, I think. Having the opportunity to coach gives you the opportunity to meet a lot of people and get to learn a lot about them. And if you want to be successful, quote unquote, in this coaching avenue, you've got to kind of connect with people. So I think that over the years, better part of 10 plus years training and coaching people, I've gotten to meet a lot of people and learn about a lot of people, and I got some good experiences, had some bad experiences, and like seeing people through hardships and when they're up and down, and seeing people's reactions and how they like kind of like deal with things, and like how much different everybody is than the person next to them, and then from me, and then the person next to me. It just kind of teaches you a lot about other people, which in turn teaches you about yourself. I think um, that's probably been the biggest thing it's taught me is just like how different we all are in reality, like in our own little different ways. But at the end of the day, it's like everybody's got the same struggles. You know what I mean? Everybody's dealing with similar issues, whether that like family stuff, like job stuff, or whatever, like health situations. But like everybody's different in that sense. But they're also like we're all connected in that nature, in that way. You know, that may have been a very roundabout way to describe what I'm saying, but I tried.
No, dude, you describe it in whatever fucking way you choose, man. And I couldn't agree more. You know, what highlights we are so similar in certain things, and yet so different in others.
Right.
It's like we
Yeah.
take different paths but end up at the same place.
Yep.
You know, and I see it as this sort of philosophical journey of learning ourselves as people, as human beings, from learning other people. And you kind of see them tick mentally, and you see how the body language changes from your tone, or you see them come in and day out, and they come in different. You know, the walls are the same. It's constantly varied. They're doing different fucking shit, but you're at the same at the board greeting them. How's your day? How's things? Nice kicks. You say the same nonsense, and they come in different, right? And you're like, oh,
Right.
okay, cool. Like life has this impact on people and how they interact and how they are now expressing themselves within a social scene, right? And it really does teach you so much about this human experience that we're bound by, right? It's way
Yeah.
more than just kettlebells and kicking ass.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And I think that's why people are drawn to like things like CrossFit, man. Like the group environment, the community you create, and like going through something and suffering and doing it together and kind of coming out on the other end. It's like compared to like I was in the military, kind of compared to that, or things of that nature where you go through something hard with other people, like it kind of brings you connected a little bit more. Um, yeah, but like you said, man, like regardless what's going on, it's like you can kind of bring it all together and realize that we're all pretty damn similar at the end of
Yeah.
it, like at its root, you know. And that's time and time again, man, proves itself. New place, new gym, new people, new workout. And it's like, it all
Yeah.
comes back to, you know what I mean? It all comes back to the same thing at the end of the day every time.
100%, man. That's something that has been reproven to me recently. Basically, we had a couple of drop-ins from Brazil, you
Oh
know,
wow.
very, very poor English, and I know zero Portuguese, right? Zero. And you're like, sweet, let's fucking do this. You know,
Yeah.
they've done CrossFit before, no problem. Or one of them is quite experienced with CrossFit. One of them kind of, and the other one not, right? And you're like, sweet, no problem. And you learn how to communicate as human beings, as people, right? And we've got pretty much no communication verbally,
Like no
right? We
language.
can we can point and make noises, and that's all right. We've got that. And it is such a beautiful experience to then sit back and reflect on them, and like we really did communicate. We just didn't do it in the normal sense of verbal communication, right? Speaking
Right.
English. It's like, and then we can take it on our shoulders. Like, I got to learn a greeting in Portuguese now.
Yeah.
just to say hello,
Or I gotta get really fucking good at visual cues, man.
really good. They know the name, you get real stern, you change the
The
inflection.
inflection.
They know if they're fucked up or not.
Yeah.
Like it is one wonderful, wonderful job, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's cool. Brazil, that's awesome.
Brother, I got 3 questions.
Okay.
What's the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
Oh shit. That was one question. That means there's more coming? All right. Man, I can't think of anything specifically, and I don't even know who would have told me this piece of advice, but that's a tough one, man. That's deep. It's deep, bro. Um, I think the best advice I was given, and I don't really know who told me this, is a family member of mine, was just to take advantage of every opportunity and experience that you get, and to not take anything for granted. Like that's kind of been a theme within my life for a lot of years now. You see people around you that you forget it sometimes. You get caught up in the race and all the stress and all the little shit going on that's bringing you down, or like you're worried about, you got to make these time, you got to do this on time, or I got to make this, I got to do this, and then it's easy to kind of forget all the opportunities you have in front of you, and like that you're getting to do these things. I constantly remind myself, or I try to, when I find myself getting in that, like little shit, like being able to like, fuck man, I gotta take out the trash, or I gotta do like whatever. It's like, oh, I mean, like some people can't, you know what I mean? Like some people don't get to do that. Like just being able to like walk myself over to the trash can and put it up. Like I can walk. That's pretty damn like. So I guess just be thankful for the opportunities you have and don't take them for granted. Would be the advice.
I like that a lot, man. I think everybody can take a lot from that, mate. In
Yeah.
whatever context their life is in at the moment, whatever situation. I think we can all take a lot from that, man.
Cool. Yeah, I agree.
What's the worst piece of life advice you've ever received?
uh
These are always good.
oh fuck. Okay. Man, both of these I can't think of like a specific like time or instance someone told me something, but
That's all right,
just as like
man.
just as like a general like values and morals that I have, and like what I perceive as like happiness or success in life. Kind of goes back to we were talking about training and like the reward for like coaching well and like being like a master of your craft and coaching. I am a firm like non-believer in the chase of the dollar or the like money. You know what I mean? Like the monetary, like equating success with the amount of like things you have or with the amount of money you have never has like inspired me. I've never really been fired up by that at all. Like since I was a kid, I was like, yeah, it's cool, I guess, but like that's the goal, is just to have more things. Like, um, so I guess just like chasing things just for the sake of chasing them to like get more money or to get more things. I think that's about in my perception, that could be one of the poorest decisions you could make as far as like what you're doing with your life, is chasing things just for like financial compensation. Um, yeah.
Yeah, especially if a lot of other things get left by the wayside, right? You see people, especially folk that come into spaces like we run, and they're running after that dollar, and their relationship falls, their relationship with the kid falls, their health
Right.
falls, and you're like,
Yeah.
why do you want this? Oh, it'd be cool to see this in my account. I was like, right. But then
Right.
it loses its value after 27 seconds,
Yeah.
so
Exactly. Yeah.
what's next?
Yep.
So, I mean, if that's the game that you like to play, who are we to judge? Go fucking do your thing, you know.
Yeah. Totally.
Just understand the balance and maybe work out a little bit.
I think if that is what you choose to pursue, like there should be a little bit of a maybe a different, if there's a different motivator behind that that just happens to like bring you like financial success and that's what it is, and great. But if that's the primary factors, like I want to be quote unquote successful, and I define success as like being worth more dollars. Like I don't get it. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me to do. Never really given a shit.
Yeah.
Last question. What are the 3 words you would tell your younger self?
Ah, damn, 3 words. You said?
Yeah. It can be like 3 individual words. You can make a sentence out of it.
I feel like my mind went to go make a sentence, and now I'm trying to figure out how what sentence can be made with 3 words. That's actually meaningful. Don't be dumb. Yeah, don't be dumb. I think I was I have had a tendency in my younger years to kind of just be a little reckless and not really think decisions through very much and just kind of go with the flow. And that's one of the qualities about me that I think has gotten me to where I am, because I'm very adaptive and can do things on the fly. But it's also a very can be a very uh, not so great quality to have when it comes to like making important decisions and potentially life altering decisions, which when you're doing things of dangerous nature, I guess.
Yeah. I would agree. Don't be dumb.
Yeah, don't be dumb, man.
Or try not to be anyway.
Yeah, don't be an idiot.
Yeah. Dude, this is an honor and privilege, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, brother. Same here. I appreciate it.
It's cool as fuck. And I'll try and make it down to Georgetown, Texas sometime.
Make it down, man. Sign up for that L4. I'll be here for you.
Right.
Show you how to work the clock and how to run the music.
Sounds good. I'm in. All right.
All right,
We'll
man.
we'll speak soon and have a great day, man.
You too, brother.
Legend. Bye, everybody.